that hard to do two things at once. As I was saying before, the Sony crashed the stream. It's a comparison video. It's because people are defending Cyberpunk and defending CDPR's actions, which may add up criminal. But this is a comparison, like mainly Watchdogs Legion to Cyberpunk, because the details, the gameplay mechanics, the state of the game, what was promised and what was delivered, what it's labelled as and what is actually in it, all that sort of stuff. Technically, you could swap out the name Watchdogs Legion for any game on the planet. Any game. There's a I think it's a $7 game I bought, no, $12 game I bought, which is Hentai versus Demons or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a cheap game, and it is better quality and more. It is a better game state than what Cyberpunk is. So I'm just going to point out the stuff and question why people are defending these fraudulent criminals. And it's I didn't go into the online mode because Cyberpunk doesn't have online mode. So I stayed in my campaign mode on Watchdogs Legion. Now if I bring up my menus, as you can see, my main missions, there are none because I've completed the main story. Side missions, I've got 2, and then my recruitment missions, I've got a handful, because unlike in online where you recruit them with influence, in story mode you recruit them by doing missions for them. But if I was to go through the main parts, Watchdogs Legion was, we'll say the word marketed as, because to clarify, the whole marketing for CDPR's Fraudulent Fest, Cyberpunk, I didn't believe much of the marketing. I didn't watch much of it. I watched their Night City Wires, which were all bullshit. Looking back on it, you can see exactly they were lying through their teeth. And then with what they delivered was nothing of what it is labelled as. If you go by labels, we'll do the labels first. Open world. Watchdogs Legions. I'll call it Watchdog. Watchdog is an open world. Cyberpunk. Kinda, it's an open world. After you do that first mission, it's an open world. Watchdogs does the same thing. You do the initial mission where you gotta use your, I suppose I can spoil it, your initial operative. You gotta go to the courthouse, defuse a bomb, but then, spoiler alert, it wasn't the only bomb. So you defuse that bomb, but all the others go off. And that's what starts the main missions. With Cyberpunk, it's you do your life path intro, which is pointless because once you've done that, it makes no damn difference the rest of the way through. And then after you've done them, you've got to do an intro mission where you take Jackie to do where you got to rescue a person, and then after you go back to your thing and you sleep and you wake up, and then the world is in brackets open. But then we'll go things like role playing. You cannot role play in Cyberpunk. It is so lacking in features, and the features that they have made, because you can see evidence of it everywhere, are just turned off, or not fully implemented, or just withheld. Whereas in Watchdogs, you can roleplay. No, it's no Sims or anything like that, but so straight off the bat, so far we are a score of 2 out of 2 for Watchdogs and a score 0 out of 2 for Cyberpunk. Oh no, okay, I'll be fair. Cyberpunk's world, open worldness, we'll give it. So it's a 1 out of 2. So that's a 50% of the product. Then we'll go to things like we'll go like the options part of it. So like what they promised as options, like in gameplay wise, like both of them have got the shooting. Like you can pull out the guns, put the guns away. You can do that in both games. You can steal cars. You can do that in both games. They're both labelled as being able to do that. But Watchdogs Legion was labelled as you could play as anyone, and you can. I have not found a single. Actually, no. There's one person I could not recruit, and that is because it is a story person, and obviously you can't play as a story person. But like every single NPC in the world, you can click on, and you can add to your recruitment list, and you can say, right, let's recruit that person. Let's recruit that person. So they did deliver the play as anyone. Cyberpunk, well, play as V. They never said you could play as anyone. They did say you could fully customize your character and play how you like, which you can't. This is where it gets dicey, because in the creation screen, you can create the character you want to play as, but in the actual game world, you don't get it. So that there straight away is withholding our product. And then you go to the features like people can say, no, I created it. Like, we'll use an example of white male. Oh, I created a white male. I'm playing as a white male. Okay, yeah. So the fact that when you go to a very rare mirror, I say that in air quotations, and just say, for example, we're role playing, and we want to, you know, we've gone out, we've done our stuff for the Ripper Dog mission at the beginning. I can't remember Jackie. You've done things with Jackie. You've opened up the world. Okay, I've had my first day of game. I'm going to roleplay and go back to my apartment. Gonna eat a meal, have a shower, and go to bed. Huh? They promised you could do this. Yeah, you can go back to your apartment. Then you go to your have dinner, or you can open your inventory and click on an icon and go, okay, you've healed. And then you go to have a shower. But I can't have a shower because, yeah, the shower turns on, but unlike a complete and utter dickhead, I shower with no clothes on. So when I take all my clothes off in my inventory, I am naked. But in the world, I am not. Which is incorrect. And so therefore, the product I purchased, which is the uncensored, which may I add, in the menus, I've turned the censored mode to off, so it's not censored. But yeah, I'm still wearing underwear, even though I'm clearly taking my clothes off to have a shower. So roleplay is like non-existent in that aspect. Immersion, non-existent. Interactive world. In Watch Dogs, you can't sit on benches and all that. So we'll give Watch Dogs a pass there, because you can't do it. You can't do it in Cyberpunk either. You can't walk up to like where's a bench? This bench just here. Like you can't walk up to it. Skyrim, you can. You can't walk up to this bench and sit down. Like literally, there's no sit down here. But neither can do it. There are some of them. Skyrim, Oblivion, all those games you can sit down. Going into shops. This one here, Watchdogs Legion, when you go to a clothing store, you don't actually go into the stores. You go to a little icon at the front, which is a little sucky. But they never said immersive world. It's a hell of a lot more living than Cyberpunk. Like, holy crap. It's day and night. A good example is if I bring up my camera, I'm just going to show you some detailing here. You look at these two characters. They are more than equal to Cyberpunk. Like, they are as good as Cyberpunk's quality of characters. And every character is different. Like, you get a lot of the same face shapes, but you get that in Cyberpunk. But then, when you're walking around the street, and for example, like, this person right there, that guy, I can literally follow him and he does stuff. He walks to, like, if I read his description, saved pet from a flat fire. So he's obviously done something. But then if I deep profile him, I can find out where he's going, what he's done, any appointments, that sort of stuff. And then if I take note, like, just say they got an appointment at whatever the frick this building is, they got an appointment at this building at 1700. They'll be here at that time, unless they get run over or something like that. Not in Cyberpunk, no. You look towards that location, they'll look away from that location, they'll spawn in. You look towards them and they'll walk in a straight line until they bump into something, and then they'll stop, turn around and walk back again. And then when you look away, they'll disappear.
He thinks he can speak like that to her, and I went to
So that's a big fat fucking no. Graphics on the characters themselves, they're about the same. If you want to get all the fine, like, high-end details and everything on the characters, they're about the same. There's, if anything, Cyberpunk adds a slight more fidelity, but not by much. And when it comes to, like, the actual world itself, people go, oh, I like exploring the world, seeing what I can find. So I'm like, there is so much more to find and explore in Watchdogs Legion. And then people are making, one of the guys I've subscribed to, it keeps defending him, and I don't know why he does it. He was talking about how there's an awesome detail of if the police sirens are on the cop cars, the LCD or LED police badges turn from blue to red. It's like, wait, what? That's what you're praising them for? That sort of crap? Watchdogs Legion has working advertisements on the back of the taxis. And if, just to show you, if for example, I'll grab this car here, bring up my GPS, my map, and I'm gonna just randomly select a spot. So we'll go up here, and then I go auto drive.
Auto drive now enabled.
The car, the automotive vehicle I'm in, the car, will indicate, will obey the road rules. And if you want to go into more detail, if you look, my character is actually playing on the phone. When there is no driver in the car, that little A on the windshield lights up for auto drive. Oh, I didn't show you the indicator. There is so much more detail in Watchdogs Legion than there is in Cyberpunk. And Watchdogs Legion isn't a lie. Everything they advertised the game would be, it is. With CDPR, it not so much advertised as what it was, but labelled as. So when you buy it on as a physical copy, a physical disc, if you buy it and you look at the label, look at the disc cover and go, okay, what does the game include? 100% of what is written on that cover is in Watchdogs Legion. Skyrim, 100% of what is in the game on the cover is in the game. Every other game on the planet, what is on the cover is in the game. Cyberpunk, no. What you read is on the cover or in the menus, even more so in the menus. No. Why would a label in the menu mean anything? Like for example, if I come up to my menus in here, and we'll go to options, we'll choose HUD. Everything there does exactly what it says it does. Exactly. Reticle style, it changes what the style of the reticle. Reticle color changes the color of the reticle. It does exactly what it's labeled as. With Cyberpunk, no. Why should a label be accurate when we can defraud 100% of our customer base, and not just in advertisements or publications, but in actual in-game menus? The actual game itself, Watchdogs Legion, is 100% better, is as much better as it could be than anything can be than Cyberpunk. So if you want a detailed open world roleplay, immersive, interactive, game, then get Watchdogs Legion. 100% get Watchdogs Legion. If you want to get ripped off, not get the product you buy, or support criminal game developers, then buy Cyberpunk. Because as much as I dislike Ubisoft, EA, and all those, this particular game, Watchdogs Legion, is the best game from the main developers released in 2020. I can even go as much to say as in 2021 as well. There is Biomutant, which is right up there. Biomutant is like, if you don't want to play cars and guns, Biomutant. Buy yourself Biomutant. It's not full price, it's a little bit cheaper. It's made by a smaller developer, but an honest developer. Did I
Auto drive now disabled.
Why are you not moving, car?
Auto drive now
I don't know why.
disabled.
Because I've arrived. Okay. Vehicle handling. Let's go over that. They're both about the same. In actual fact, Watchdogs Legion is a more satisfying or more fun feeling driving mechanic.
Auto drive now enabled.
Okay, let me just turn this car around so it doesn't go the long way around. So like when you're doing hairpin turns or handbrakes and stuff like that, in Watchdogs Legion it feels really, really satisfying. In Cyberpunk it's like, to be honest for me, I can't even play the game, right? And if I drive in the car, it's like, I can't, like, I might enjoy the car handling since they've tweaked it, but it's like, all I can see is like the fact that it is not the game I bought. It is, and not in performance and not in stability, in actual state of the game. So like as I was saying before, like the fact that like when you've got a menu system and you've got a switch in the menu, and the switch has an on or an off state. On means on, off means off. There's no greys. Watchdogs Legion and every other game on the planet knows that on is on, off is off. For example, perfect example. If you turn your subtitles on, it displays subtitles. If you turn your subtitles off, it does not display subtitles. Not with Cyberpunk. CDPR, they don't know this on and off. Like, their light switches at the house, it's got on, kinda on, sometimes on, maybe it's on. There's no off, because they don't know the difference between an on and an off. Or because if they did, then the only feature I bought the game for, the fact it was in brackets uncensored, when I turned the censorship off, it would actually be off. Not a sometimes off, Not a sometimes on. Not a kinda on. Not a kinda on. It's on or off. I'm meant to be saying watch the indicator, but this car isn't the best because it's got tiny little, skinny little indicators. The vintage car I just drove past is a good one, and the one to the right that we just passed is not bad one. Got nice big indicators on them. Is it even going to turn, or is it going to be a long road? It's going to be a long road straight, so I'm going to change the GPS to up here somewhere, just to make it turn. Oop, there's the indicator going there. The car indicated left while I was doing an illegal U-turn. Indicating right because it's turning right.
Auto drive now to
And just to show you even more details, if I shot the license plate actually comes off. None of this sort of crap happens in Cyberpunk, and yet wasn't it touted as the next big
auto
thing?
drive now enabled.
Advanced technologies, all that sort of. There's none of it. The player having an effect on the world. The online mode of Watchdogs Legion, not so much. But in the story mode, hell yeah. Those things that I'm driving past now, that. When you first start the game, there's all these guard posts. You walk through scanners. As you clear areas of the enemy, or what they call it, freer barrow, they start closing them down. And by the end, it's a complete, I wouldn't say completely different, but it's a different world. Like, there's another one. It's shut down. So shut them all down. You'll see less Albion, which is the enemies in Watchdogs Legion. Cyberpunk is like, I can't guarantee it because I can't play enough of the game because it's that fraudulent. Because it's not the game I bought, that I cannot get to the point where it's like, does it like if you piss on an electric fence, do you get electrocuted? Or if you dam a river, does downriver go like drought? Not so much in either game, but more so in Watchdogs Legion. Yes, you have an effect on the world.
Your destination.
In Cyberpunk, hell no.
Look at this place.
It is a hollow, fraudulent, the whole company of CDPR, like, they are cancerous in the gaming industry. The fact that Ubisoft, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Ubisoft, the game company that wants to milk you for your money, are more honest, more loyal to their gamers, more trustworthy than CDPR. Like, surely that is saying enough, just in that one statement. And it bugs the living shit out of me that, for one, that Watch Dogs Legion isn't getting more praise than what it is. Like, it has so much in it, and unless Ubisoft do something stupid, it can only get better. Admittedly, there are some missions in here, but the new online tactical ops, they use some very bad tactics, right? Making it so to get a daily objective you need a second player. But if that's the worst they're doing, then, like, for example, if I bought Watch Dogs Legion with this season pass and I was promised team, I'll show you a good example if I can find her. Okay. When I bought Watchdogs Legion, I got the season pass mainly for this character. Imagine if I bought Watchdogs Legion and the season pass that promised this character in the season pass, and then I never received this character. And then when I put a ticket in saying, where's my character, they've gone, you're not getting it. Hang on, I paid for the season pass. Yeah, we know. We're just not giving it to you. That's a bad thing, isn't it? And that is exactly what CDPR done with Cyberpunk. They've gone, you bought this product and it's got this in it. And I've gone, well, this ain't in it. They've gone, oh yeah, we know. We're not giving it to you. But yet people are defending them. And yet Watchdogs Legion gets flack because they're it's not even microtransactions, it's a store. And when a game is released in a relatively good working order and it is the correct product, I can live with microtransactions. In fact, I've bought some credits on the store. I actually bought I think it was that one. No, it would have been that one. No, it was that one. I bought credits. And it's because the company is done right by the gamer base that I've bought the credit. So I bought the season pass, and I got my season pass content. Team. So it's those 3 operatives there are the season pass content. And there is also... Oh, I'm playing as it. No, I'm not. Okay. Oh yeah, there she's there. Okay. Because I was playing around with the new customizations. So I've given her a beard and everything. If you look, a lot of my characters are weirder, like some of them with bigger, bushy beards and everything. But I got all of the content I paid for. So I've gone, okay, I'll give them more money. I'll buy some credits off them. I don't mind. Like, I'll support this thing. But CDPR? Hell no. They ain't getting sent out of me. Until they deliver me my product, they can go get fucked. See, that one's got the A on the screen, so you know it's in auto drive. Actually, I wonder if you can see the deep profile. If I go team, we'll go there, we'll choose that character for example, we'll go deep profile. You can see a schedule, and we'll see here, what game was it, what time is it in game? 18:30. So if I go to that character, deep profile. So it's exchanging bribes with Katie Tucker, business partner. And then it'll be relaxing at things. If I investigate that, and then view on map, I put a marker there, I'll even fast travel to the area. I can wait here and that character will turn up. So it's a living world. Like, even if I wasn't here, it feels like this character would be doing this. Whereas in Cyberpunk, it's like, if you weren't there, no one would load in. Yeah, so yeah, bottom line is, if you wanted what Cyberpunk was labelled as, open world, yeah, shooting, cars, role play, immersive, interactive, all this sort of stuff, buy Watchdogs Legion. There's no cybernetics, but when Cyberpunk, you don't have cybernetics per se. Like, you've got a thing in your menu that says you've got a cybernetic stuff, but when you pull out not your character's arm, and you can't have a robot arm, so it's like, why advertise you as having cybernetics when you clearly cannot give yourself a robot arm, or robot legs, or robot chest? Like, it was touted as. When this game here is more cyberpunk than cyberpunk, that just says it to you. It's like, buy Watchdogs Legion. If you get it on sale, even better. A lot of people are going to go, this is GTA. No, it's not just GTA. This is so much more detailed and more alive than GTA is. A good example I can show you is right now. If I pull out my police officer, the NPCs will react differently to the character's actions and the character's position. So
See how much havoc we can cause today?
this one is
I
a police
promise it'll be
officer.
fun.
I'll give it a go.
So I can walk around. Oh, that's the character it just was. She will now go and do her stuff. Like if she was going to go to the pier, she'll go to the pier. But if I walk around as the police officer, I'll get people going, oh, thanks cop, thanks officer. If you walk around as a medical personnel, you get references to... He just said, good to see police back on the street. So it's like, they're like thank you officer type things. And if you're running around as one of the gangs, okay, I've got the voices turned down so it's really hard to hear them. But so if you're running around as a police officer, they'll thank you for being a cop, for keeping them safe. If you're a do I have one? This one's an Albion officer. Let's see if I can find if I've got a Kelly one, because the Kelly's one of the gangs. Okay, she's a Kelly clan. So if I pull her out, okay, then we'll go. Yeah, take photos of yourself. See, and there's that operative I just was as. Put my uniform on. People will actually tell me to fuck off, spit at me and stuff like that because I'm one of the gang members. You don't get any of that in Cyberpunk. So yeah, if I was to score games, like seriously, like Watchdogs Legion is like right up there. I reckon it's a good 8 or 9 out of 10. It does have its issues, but all games have their issues. Bugs, glitches. It's like, if the game is what it's promised to be, if it's that, and nothing's game breaking, then you can look past a couple of bugs. And for the record, I think I've seen one broken animation on a character, like in brackets T-pose, in this game. And that was like early release. Since then I've seen none. You do get the occasional like graphical glitch, like the sky will flash purple. It's something to do with the lighting or something like that, but I am on the basic PlayStation 4. So like, you can expect issues. Okay, so and this is the spot that other person was going to come to. I can either wait till the time, but it's only like half an hour. So I could wait in game for half an hour and have my... See? She wants to go me because purely of who I am. You don't get any of that sort of stuff in Cyberpunk. None of it. Reflections. In my opinion, Watchdogs Legions are better. Detailing, like the graphic fidelity of the characters, the cars, stuff like that. Like, you don't really get to see the inside of a car unless you look through the windows. It's better on Watchdogs Legion than it is in Cyberpunk. Right, let's see if I can get my camera out. Oh, of course the windows are tinted. If I go around the other side. can't really see it. Photo mode. Like you just saw the ground bounce up and down graphically. That sort of stuff. But photo mode. It's all really good. The options are very similar to what Cyberpunk has got, with the exception of this one really doesn't have a like, you know, choose your pose type thing. So you can't move your character around and choose your pose, which I wish it did have. But when in Cyberpunk, when you go to photo mode, it's not your character, it's watered down, censored lookalike. So what's the point of taking photos? Okay, so well, there you go. There's some details, state, and like Watchdogs Legion. It's actually running pretty good. I've got a few friends that are on PS5, and they're having. One of them was having a fair amount of crashing issues. But I played with him earlier today, and he didn't crash. So it's like, it could be Sony for all we know. Like Sony aren't exactly the best friggin' OS creators. But that character right there, I can recruit her right now. Cyberpunk, I can't tell you definitively whether it still crashes, because I cannot play it because it is not the product. It is not Cyberpunk. I've done a stream earlier to see if the in brackets update that the criminals released today fixes anything. I went in the game. You can watch the stream. It's only a 5-minute long stream. That's how long it took me to get pissed off at the game and leave and call them criminals. I shot a person. They actually died. Unlike it used to be where they just stand there and take the bullets. Like, yeah, you know, their head will bounce back if you shoot them in the face. Like their head will bounce back and a bit of blood will come out, and that's it. But they won't die. I shot the guy in the back of the head and he fell over and died. But then I looked down and it's like, get fucked. I'm out of here. It's like, not playing this fraudulent product. Came back to Watch Dogs. And people are going to say, oh, but what about when it was released and stuff like that? It's like, well, hang on. Watch Dogs Legion was released at roughly the same era. Same time period as Cyberpunk. We've had more improvements, less lies, and more reliability, more entertainment, and everything from Watch Dogs Legion than from the other one. Like, 6 months. CDPR have not corrected anything in Cyberpunk. They have reduced the number of crashes from a higher up a squiggly line to lower down the squiggly line. If you don't know what I'm referencing there, they put out a slide, in brackets, of performances of the game and how they fixed it. And it is literally a bar along the bottom that says months, January, February, March, April, May, type thing. And then it's a squiggly line above it. There's no bar going up the way saying this is 1,000 crashes, this is 1,000,000 crashes, this is 1,000,000,000,000 crashes. None of that. It is literally just a squiggly line going down. So for all we know, it's gone from 1,000,000 crashes to 800,000 crashes. But maybe it's gone from 1,000,000 crashes to 800 crashes. But we won't know because there's no marker stating how far the squiggly line has gone down. That's how scummy this company is. They won't even be transparent enough to say, we have reduced crashes from this number to this number. They'll just go, here's a squiggly line. And for the people who are wondering about the email I received from CDPR, I've still been sharing it with the government agencies and stuff like that, but there's there's one line in the actual email that I would like to call out right now. So we'll find it here. Not that one. Try and find that shot. There it is. But this decision is not up to me or the support team. This is an email from CDPR's public relations. And it took me 4.5 to 5 months to get this reply. But this decision is not up to me or the support team. So I hate to say it, but submitting more tickets is not going to change this. So that one little statement there just goes to show you how scumbaggy and criminal that company is, that they know it's an issue. And that the PR department have admitted it's not up to us, but it's up to the developers, and the developers will not respond. I've been trying for months. And later on in that email, it states that it is not going to be changed. So the broken, locked off content that we're not receiving that we paid for, we will not be receiving it. And they are getting away with it. So there you go. I'm going to call it 40 minutes of chatting. Like even that, like, if you look, you probably won't have said it on YouTube. If you look just through, you can see through the visor. You can see the shape of the face underneath the visor. Getting off track here, but that's details. Actually, just a quick little show of texture quality. That's the quality of concrete we should be getting in Cyberpunk to have it run good on the base consoles, not the 4K textures they give us. But that's the least of the problems. The big ass ones is when something is labeled as something, make it that. So, as I said earlier, if I turn my subtitles off, have my subtitles off. So when I turn my nudity sensor off, turn my nudity sensor off. That's what I paid for. Give me it. Okay. Calling it. You guys take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. And by Watchdogs Legion, stay away from CDPR products. They are criminals. They are scammers. They're fraudulent. Do not touch their products. Okay. I'm out of here. Stay safe. Look after each other. And don't catch the bug.